I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Alrighty, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast for Monday. We got the band back together. Virginia, after her week off to go to a wedding in Italy, is back with us.
The best wedding in the best area I've ever traveled to in my life.
Looked amazing. Yeah, everything I've ever seen. Every day is a picture-perfect, beautiful day in Italy.
I felt like I was in a postcard. Like, I was sending pictures, and I was like, this shit looks fake. It looks like I'm in an AI land. Mm-hmm. It was that beautiful.
Yeah, it is absolutely unreal. I've been focusing on, my daughter's gone there the last couple of years for her job, and just everything she sends back, I'm like, my goodness. And I brought that up. I can't understand why anybody would have ever left. How we have Italian Americans. Why?
Well, why Jerry's family left is his grandfather came home one day on the island, on the little island of Ventadine where he lived. The grandfather came home and his parents were in the house crying. They were going to lose the house because they didn't have money.
Okay.
And so he was 17 years old, and he decided on that day, he got on a boat, and he came to the U.S., and he was going to start sending money back and save his parents' home that they were going to lose.
Yep.
And he did. He saved the home. We went to the home. Now it's been passed down from generation to generation, and a cousin owns it and lives in it. But Jerry has so many family on this island, and they left because they came to make money and get a better life.
Yep.
But a lot of them get money, get a better life, and bring it back to Ventadine and live there.
Mm-hmm. So Jerry's king shit of Fuck Mountain.
He is and he isn't. So the king shits of Fuck Mountain live on that island. They respect their elders and they respect the people that live there. And those are the king shits. Mm-hmm. The people that are there. If you leave and come back for vacation, I mean, that's awesome. They appreciate it. They love it. He has cousins everywhere. And they all knew he was there. They all knew he was, the American that came back from the grandfather that helped start the island back in the day. Mm-hmm. So they all knew he was there, but they don't kiss ass. They don't come up to you and be like, oh my gosh, we're so happy you're here. They look you up and down and they're like, buongiorno.
Yeah.
It's very,
that's cool.
It's very sophisticated. It's very European. It's very elevated in how they act and how they conduct themselves. And they're super classy and they're well put together. And they're certainly not going to fawn over some American. Mm-hmm. So he's not the king shit of the mountain like I thought it was going to be. Okay. I thought when we went back with him that there was going to be like...
They're going to bring out a band. And
right. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do appreciate the fact that he is there and his lineage is there, but they know that their island is the shit. And they know that the people that... the elders that live on that island are the king shits. Now, they respect Jerry's mom on a whole different level.
Okay.
And they wish that she was there, but she's in her 90s. She was too old to make the trip. Mm-hmm. If she would have come, she would have been king shit of the mountain.
Okay.
That would have been a whole different scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fascinating to see all that. And what you talked about is opportunity. And you think about people now that come to America. A lot of that is you might be sending money back to your family in Cuba or Venezuela and some things like that. Because, we do have the opportunity. And after mentioning that, Doug had said, yeah, Kevin, you're wondering why Italians were immigrating to the United States from Italy. The largest wave of immigrants came in the late 1800s from southern Italy and Sicily. Decades of internal strife had left a legacy of violence, social chaos, and widespread poverty.
And I think a lot of it had to do with that Mussolini guy.
Okay.
So
that would have been Benito Mussolini was, around World War II, the 1940s and that era, late 30s.
I guess he was really bad and really mean.
Yeah. A lot of times dictators, they're a dick.
They put dick in the name.
That's where,
let you know something.
A lot of my family's from is Sicily. That's where, on my mom's side, she didn't grow up there. She grew up in Rhode Island, but, before her and her parents, that's where it all went popping, baby.
It's just so cool to be able to go back to the place where your grandparents lived. Like, do you have an address in Sicily where you could go and see, like, okay, this is the house where my grandparents lived and they had 10 kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we went to and got to watch Jerry stand in this house where his grandparents lived.
Well, he's a good Italian. I'm a shitty Italian. I got diddly dick over there in Sicily.
And so what had happened in that era was when somebody would go to America and they make some money, they'd be like, oh my gosh, this is truly the land of opportunity. So more and more Italians wanted to come to America and start off. And they'd said too that because, think about what happens with crime in America here. When the economy is bad and people aren't making money, they typically turn to crime. And so with the mafia and things like that happening in Sicily and southern Italy, if you weren't part of the mafia and extolling violence to make your means and you're on the other side of it, then you're like, we got to get out of here. Because either we're going to be joining the mafia and we have to attack other people and be violent to make our money, or we got to just go. And so that's what drove people out on that choice.
We all joined the mafia from a certain point of view. Let that sink in.
So fascinating stuff. That is the story of Italy and why that's going on. So there you go.
I highly recommend if you do go over there with Caitlin. Rome was great. The Vatican was amazing.
Yeah.
But I would tell anybody, go to that island of Ventadine and go see it.
Yeah, it seems cool.
It was just the coolest. And it's where the Italian people go to vacation. They're in the know. And there was no Americans. Like, it was wild to be there and not see any Americans. It was just a very unique experience that I've never had in my life, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just such a weird culture shock of appreciation. I really appreciated these Italian people and their culture and how they conduct themselves and what they eat and do and live. And it was really fascinating.
Yeah, that is cool. My daughter was on an island named Capri that was there.
Jerry is over there now.
At Capri?
Yeah, because he stayed behind on his honeymoon.
Okay.
And so, he was sending me pictures from Capri this morning.
Yeah, gorgeous.
He's on Capri.
Okay. That's where my daughter just was like last month.
It'd be so awesome if there was a sun rising, because then you got, obviously, Capri Sun.
That's him sitting and having a cigar on a balcony in Capri.
It's nice.
Have you ever had a cigar, Kev?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Nope. Not at all. I hate to do it because sometimes I do it and I kind of get bullied into them, but I'm like, I don't want to waste your cigar. I know these things aren't cheap. Like, I'm not going to enjoy it. So
they're usually like $30.
Do you do a fake puff, or do you legit take a puff and try to?
I mean, I will. I'll just kind of have it sitting there. And I'm like, I don't want to take your cigar because I know these are not cheap. And
do you feel something after? If
nauseous.
You take a rip?
Regret.
Yeah, everything. I really don't want it. And then, every now and then, cigar smokers, man, sometimes they're like, come on. All right.
And they're blowing it in your face.
You just got to look at him and go, dude, I'm a pussy.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong guy.
I'll own it.
You're talking to the wrong guy.
I've gotten to a point in my life where I go, yeah, I'm a fucking pussy.
I don't want a cigar.
I'm totally cool with being a pussy.
Half a man. I'm good with that.
I do feel like, though, if I was to take a hit of a cigar, I would probably try to inhale it like a joint. And I think I would be so nauseous after.
Yeah, it's going to make you sick.
It would make me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you typically inhale. I think it's just kind of you puff on it.
You don't inhale.
Sometimes it's like riding a bike. You just kind of.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
You've puffed so many other things.
You just inhale naturally.
You're just going to naturally inhale.
There's no way if Kevin gave me a cigar, I would not inhale it for 30 seconds.
We know.
Yeah.
And then barf in the corner like a cat.
I'll be right back, though. 35 seconds later, I'm right back on the mic.
Oh, yeah. She pukes and rallies. That is one thing about Jay Bird. She will puke and rally.
That's it. It's what you got to do. Somebody's asking what my daughter does. She is a nanny. So that's when she does that. So she's technically working. So it's not like she gets free reign when she goes those places. I mean, it's nice if you got to work to be in that location, but Yeah, so her family likes to travel a lot, so she's on some island somewhere right now. And
Good for her.
Yeah, she was in the Hamptons last week, and then she goes to Malibu, I guess, next.
Okay.
Dude, the last island I was on was Singer Island. That's
a nice island.
That's as
Nice
classy.
island.
We love Singer Island.
I did
This
too.
fuckface
I'll be there
hits.
in a couple weeks. I'm doing a staycation on Singer Island.
Bring the cigars.
Okay. Yeah, it's lovely.
They're doing the kickoff party for Flavor Palm Beach at a new resort on Singer Island.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, we got a special room rate if you want in.
Oh, yeah, you have to let me know.
I will let you know.
Yeah, this is the time of year.
This is the time of year when you can wheel and deal with these beachfront hotels. Don't try to get no special rate in November because you won't.
No.
Is that when it kind of end of October?
Yeah, Halloween is usually the end of the deals.
You could even see that back at the fancy golf course I used to work at. Right around October, you're like, why am I fucking annoyed? Oh, because everyone's here right now. And
All the
they're yelling at me.
snowbirds came back
Yes.
and they're mad at you.
Yes, because I'm not quick enough at rubbing their club.
I got a club you can rub.
You have to rub clubs. That's a thing. You got to clean that thing. Yeah, real clean.
What are we talking about?
They're golf clubs.
You're not jerking off members in the closet?
No, but I do think some members would have appreciated that.
Hey, what's your price? Everybody's got a price.
So Virginia did her trip to Italy. I went to Austin, Texas for the first time. I admittedly didn't really get to see too much of the city. Terry Black's, I think, is the name of the barbecue place one of our KVJ Nationers recommended. And so I got there for lunch on day one, and they were right. Show up early because we got there just a little bit after 11, kind of breezed through the line and got our food. I ordered what they told me to, the brisket and the jalapeno sausage. It was fantastic, but yeah, that thing had a line by 11:40 coming out the door. So
Rotten Tomatoes score of the barbecue you had.
I would say it's over a 90%er.
Wow.
Yeah, if we're doing it that. Yeah, it was a solid A. I mean, it was very good.
I love it.
Austin's supposed to have great barbecue, but then there's a big debate. That's a front. They have shitty barbecue. They're getting the hype behind that. But you said it was good.
Yeah, it was good. And look, everybody's going to argue their barbecue because you've got several places, whether it be Texas, Kansas City, North Carolina barbecue, and it's all of it's a little bit different. So sometimes it's your preference to it. But, I've had barbecue now at all three of those places, and they're all pretty decent. It's just whatever style you like.
I would really love to go to Austin for that South by Southwest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That looks so cool to me.
I feel like I need to go back because I didn't get a really good representation. I had one other dinner out. It was just, a regular restaurant, and I tried to explore a little bit on my own. I took off from one of the conventions, said, let me go see what this place is all about. And I will tell you, the 6th Street, don't waste your time on that. That is
not right now. It's not ready.
Well, and I was talking to some friends of mine that they, long-time radio show in Austin, have been there, really know the city. And they're just saying, yeah, they're older, maybe almost historic, but they just kind of look like shitty buildings to me. And so there's a little bit of pushback, kind of like what we have here with some of our older historical buildings.
Sure.
That it doesn't seem like they're fully invested in it. And what they had done, same thing on Lower Broadway. And somebody tried to equate it to, it's their version of Lower Broadway in Nashville. It's not. Lower Broadway in Nashville, yeah, they're older buildings, but they have put a ton of money.
Restoration.
Tens of millions of dollars
And
into
they
each
look
one.
good.
They look amazing. Yeah. And 6th Street in Austin, there's nothing to compare it. So, and I saw one person playing live. This is about 3 p.m.
That's it?
And that was it. And he wasn't very good. Yeah.
Damn. That's disappointing.
I couldn't have been more disappointed.
And that was a Friday?
You could have got up on stage and done your own thing.
Might have been on Thursday. I'm trying to think. Thursday or Friday. I'm trying to remember which day I went. Maybe it was on Friday. It's Friday afternoon.
But Austin is supposed to be known for music.
I think parts of it's supposed to be known, like Kevin's saying.
I was just there, and I'm telling you, they hang their hat on music.
No, I know they do.
That's why I was stunned. I really thought I was going to see some places. And I tried to scout a little bit again. My trip was too quick, but somebody else who lives there as well had said, I think it's Rainy Street or something like that was another area. And I was talking to the two guys that had done radio there for a while. And they're like, yeah, that's kind of actually getting run down now too. So I'm like, well, do you have I don't know if they even have
What's
a bar
your
district.
street?
Yeah, I don't know.
What
Where's
is
your
it?
bar district? I don't know. I mean, you can see that there's a lot of development happening in Austin, and they have a massive skyscraper that's coming up that they're doing construction on right now. So you can see, I mean, there's things are happening in the city. It's just not there yet. Maybe if I went back in 5 years, I'd be like, okay, it's kind of caught its groove. But yeah, what I saw, I wasn't blown away. I went in with pretty high expectations, thinking I was going to see Nashville or something like that. In all fairness, maybe I didn't get to the right places.
And I think, to your point, there's parts of it that's shitty, and there's parts of it that's very musically driven. I mean, Austin City Limits, come on, baby.
I know. I wanted Kevin to see it. Mm-hmm. I want to see it. I want to go back for South by Southwest, but then I also want to go when it's not a big music festival and explore the
little bit
city
of both, yeah.
and see what it has to offer outside of a big, huge festival like South by Southwest.
Right. I'd like to go and give it a fair chance because
Right.
I'm saying right now what I saw was underwhelmed, but I'll admit, I did not give it a fair shake.
It's tough when you're doing those radio conventions to go out and explore like the entire town. You were there to do a job.
Who's
pretty
the
much.
show that you were asking? What's their name? Do we know them?
Yeah, JB and Sandy.
Oh,
Yeah.
JB and Sandy are back together?
They're trying to be.
Ah.
Yeah, they're working on trying to get back on
That's fascinating.
the radio in Austin.
Yeah, we can definitely hook up with them and ask their advice about South by Southwest.
Yeah, and I ran out of time, too, because Sandy was going to take me to a burger joint that's by the football stadium. I didn't even get to see the football stadium, which, whenever the Rolstons go to a town, we go right to the big football stadium, so I didn't even
The
get there.
Ralston's Ball.
Well, that's our number one. When we drive into a city, the first thing we go to is whatever that stadium is that we haven't seen. And
Check
so
it out.
He had said it was a 100-year-old burger joint that it's kind of like a locals place about that they almost bulldozed to put a train station through, and everybody kind of rallied around this place, and they didn't take it down. And so it's pretty close to where the stadium is. So, that might have really changed my tune if I had gotten there.
That sounds like a great experience. 100-year-old burger joint right next
Right.
to the stadium.
Yeah, I love those kind of places.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll try it again, see what happens with that. But there's a lot of construction. That area is really coming up. They said between San Antonio and Austin, it's constant construction. Like it's becoming one whole big city. Kind of like South Florida between West Palm and Miami is pretty much one continuous town.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of that way. So Texas is booming.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's getting passed from West Palm Beach. It's going through Palm Beach Gardens.
You're right.
Up to Port St. Lucie. I mean,
You're right.
it's every single day I feel like I drive by something and go, that fucking building wasn't there yesterday.
They're building them quick.
And it's like 38 stories.
Well, we're going to be downtown on Saturday for Bamboozle, downtown West Palm Beach. It's the fundraiser for Little Smiles. And I was shocked when I was downtown West Palm Beach about 2 weeks ago. And I couldn't believe that used to be a parking lot, and that's a skyscraper. Mm-hmm. That used to be a parking lot.
Yep.
And that's a skyscraper.
Yep.
And a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, they're still, like I'd say, with all the cities, they're still capped in West Palm. So, you're not going to see it. Lauderdale's starting to stretch the limits. They're getting to 40 to 50 stories. Miami's doing 60 to 80. And
Oh my gosh.
Palm Beach is
60
still
to 80.
80. If I had to look over an 80-story balcony, my butthole would pucker
right.
so quickly.
Prove it.
In the most pulsating way.
So we want to bring you on the balcony,
Yeah,
and we
but-
want to see your butthole.
Need a butthole cam.
It would make my nuts go right up into my body, and then my peen.
That'd be fun.
would
We just need a camera on the front and one on the back. His
We-
butthole puckers and his nards go inside his body.
Do we get a GoPro for this or what?
Look, the penis does its own dance as well when we're that high.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I
you
don't like it, man.
Yeah, downtown West Palm has about 4 or 5 towers under construction, but again, like they're going to be, I think they're only doing 20 to 35 stories, something like that tops. So.
It's no 80.
No,
80 is
no.
horrifying, actually.
It really. When I went to Jersey, the first motel I went to was a meth motel. So I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I went to Denny's. The waitress was crying. I go, what the fuck is going on here in Jersey? So I got a new hotel. I go, just go to this hotel. And when they dropped me off, I get there. The 7th story was the lobby. I'm like, motherfucker. They go, you, sir, are going to be on the 39th story. I'm like,
What?
I got up there. I was there for 30 minutes. I had to leave. I can't. I feel the building fucking dancing. It's moving.
Yep. And while I took my trip, I watched Shrinking that people had been talking about with Jason Segel, Harrison Ford in it. It's solid. I enjoy it. I'm in season 2 right now. Season 1 was great, and season 2's holding up still. So I enjoyed that. And I had likened it to Ted Lasso or Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
It's just, they're not, I've seen funnier shows, but the air and the vibe, and you walk away like, okay, I feel a little bit better about myself. I just feel better about life. It's kind of got that nice positive. There's conflict, of course, and they have drama and fights and all that stuff. But then at the end of it all, you can see there's true love with the characters. And you're like, okay, people are not complete assholes to each other. I enjoy seeing this.
You are right, because sometimes you can get kind of stuck in a content mode where you're just watching the same kind of shit. I've been watching a lot of body cam stuff on YouTube. So you think everyone's just a fucking nutcase. That's why it was nice to take a break from that and watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Little palate cleanser.
Yeah, just something cozy, light and breezy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need a little bit of a break. Some other suggestions. Casey had said watch Bad Monkey on Apple TV. That's Vince Vaughn. I'd seen that. If you like Vince Vaughn being Vince Vaughn and you like shows about South Florida, which I love both, I did enjoy that. So I saw that.
Bad Monkey?
Bad Monkey.
I like it.
Is the name of it. Yeah, it's decent. And Rebecca in Boynton, she said, I keep forgetting to recommend Acapulco for Kevin. The 4th season just came out on Apple TV, and it's so good. It'll help Kevin with his Spanish. Okay. Love that.
I need a little help with my Spanish. I'm trying to tighten my shit up, too.
I know a girl that can help you. Her name is Honeyface.
See?
Yeah, okay.
Si,
What does she do to help you out? How do you do it?
The way for me, I like learning vocabulary words.
Yeah.
It's just a way for me to kind of, retain information. So the more vocabulary words I learn, for example, if it's the word working, or if it's the word kisses, or working on kisses. How would you say that in Spanish? And I really do, I want to learn. So I'm curious. I think when you're curious, you will learn.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to have a desire to do it. First, it's like with working out or doing anything. You have to want to become it and have a drive to continue with it. But yeah, the toughest part of it is I can understand Spanish okay. And what is tough, I need to speak it more, because it's being able to put the words in the right order, because Spanish is different in how they organize things that will trip you up. Even listening sometimes, you're like, okay, wait a minute. You might know the words, but you're like, why is it in that order?
But the fact that you can understand, that's impressive, man.
What happens to me right now, I'm at the level where I understand most of a sentence, but there might be a word. I'm like, wait, what was that word again? And then it kind of throws you off. You think about an English sentence, and if there was one word that you didn't understand, you'd be like
if I threw in a Botafuco every now and then, you'd be like, what is that?
Yeah, your brain just kind of freezes, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not sure I got all that. But yeah, I get enough. So at least if people are talking shit, I can kind of get a vibe of what they're saying. You know, it's kind of where I am. But yeah, I need that person. That's why having Honeyface or having somebody in your house, Denny's wife, Jen, she speaks great Spanish, because her roommate, she's like, just speak Spanish to me. And if I had that, that's where you turn a corner and you really can become pretty good.
Immersive.
Yeah, you really do need that. When I grew up, we were big with exchange students. My mom was one, so we always had them. And just being in another country and having everybody speak that language. And I remember kind of the big threshold that the exchange students would say was when they started dreaming in that language. They're like, okay, wow. So it became easier for their brain, in a sense, to narrate everything in English for them. But they're like, well, oh my gosh, and they were so excited. They're like, oh, I finally have my first English dream.
I met a girl in my travels on a ferry. Her name is Marta, and she is from Rome, and she was on Ventadine vacationing with her family. She speaks 6 languages fluently.
Wow.
6. Could you imagine?
That's awesome.
Is that something to where the parents when you were a kid made you learn those languages? 'Cause I feel like the older you get, the harder it would be to learn 6 languages.
She went to school, and she's just now in college. Like, she's young. She's Magnolia's age. So when she went to primary school, she got to go in Germany. She got to go in Paris. She got to go in Switzerland. She got to go to all these different places, and it was free.
Yeah.
It didn't cost her money. Magnolia told her, she's like, oh, yeah, if I want to come to Italy and do a study abroad with FSU, it's about $20,000 a semester. And this girl, Marta, she couldn't believe it. She's like, how can they charge you that? It should be free to go to different countries. She went to school in all these different countries and now speaks all the languages.
Yeah, how do you say fuck that noise in Spanish?
I can't imagine, like, how expanded your brain is to be able to speak 6 languages.
I think it's much easier to be multilingual when you're in Europe for that reason, because I think you have more opportunities. The countries are closer, and keep in mind, you got French and Spanish and English and Italian kind of all tucked in that area.
She said those are very close. Italian, Spanish, English. She said the hardest language she had to learn was German.
Yes, right.
She said German, hands down, was the hardest to learn. But she lived there for like 3 years when she was in school.
Yeah.
And so she had to learn it.
Right.
What makes it so hard, I wonder?
I think it's just different than the other ones. Like, for instance, when you're doing Spanish, there are a lot of words that are similar to the English words.
And Italian.
Yeah,
They kind of look a little bit alike.
Yeah, so you kind of like say, well, that looks like a word that I know from my language, and you take a guess. You're like, oh, what do you know? A lot of times it's similar. It may not be the exact, but it's got some similarities, and you can see where they came from each other. So, yeah, Germany's just its own. Every word is completely radically different.
And I wonder, too, if it's like instruments. I think the more instruments you learn how to play, with each instrument you learn, it's a little bit easier because you've kind of already kind of gone
Method,
down.
yeah.
And I wonder if that's how it is with language.
I bet you it is.
If you're on your 4th language, I wonder if there's a certain thing you go, oh, there's a system here that it's different but the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine for kids growing up in South Florida, it's probably better and easier because I think they probably have more influence. And I know where my wife is taught, they do a lot more Spanish.
Okay.
And then the chances of you having somebody that speaks Spanish very well is relatively high. And so they can really become conversive in those classes.
And that's the one thing my girlfriend said is there's just different forms of the language. For example, we've had bits where we've done Spanish bits on the air, and someone will speak in their how they speak their Spanish, and then we'll get, this person doesn't know shit about Spanish. Who the fuck is talking? But there's so many different dialects with it. And that's what she was explaining to me too. She goes, well, some people may think it's wrong, but in their culture, it's actually right.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of words. You look at English and American, which are really 2 different languages. There's a lot of phrases and words that you wouldn't know if you're not English or if you're not American. There are even a lot of phrases that we've made up that, you know, you talk to somebody that's British, they have, what are you talking about? Have no idea. And it's the same way I've heard in Spanish.
See, I can speak British. That all can speak.
Okay.
Fucking nailed it, bro.
The accent.
Fucking accent.
Oh my gosh, I close my eyes and I'm just there in a pub.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I'm eating a fish and chips.
Do you want some bloody fish and chips, do you? All right.
Bloody fish and chips? No. I'd prefer my fish cooked, not bloody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I've offended our British community.
And Angie said, has Bird watched 2-sentence horror stories on Netflix? If not, check it out. Kind of gives me Black Mirror vibes. It's 3 seasons, and each episode is 20 to 25 minutes long.
I've seen of it. I've not watched it, but it is on my radar. So very good suggestion.
Okay.
I love Black Mirror. I think that is such a cool show. Obviously, there's some that are better than others, but man, does that fucking show make you think? And it takes you on a twisted ride. Yeah. Where there's some really, really good twist endings. You go, shit, fuck, I feel weird. I gotta make a sandwich.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I gotta go eat my feelings.
I gotta process what I just saw.
And got an email here saying, Kev, you got to watch SEC football any given Sunday on Netflix. That doesn't make sense. I didn't know they played on Sunday. It just dropped, and I'm 2 episodes in, and wow, I'm like you, except I'm a huge Sooners fan and love college football. I live for it. I have 3 TVs going at once, watching any and all games. This makes me fired up and pumped for this coming season. Yeah, it is. It's here, basically. My son has his first high school football game this Friday.
Real
they're on
game?
it. Yeah, real football game.
No shit.
Yep, absolutely. So it's go time, baby. It's already high school football season.
I'm sure.
Here we go.
I'm sure Panda, your husband, already knows this, but the Buffalo Bills are going to be the ones for HBO's
Yes. Oh,
locker
he knows.
room. Okay, I figured he did. I just wanted to make sure.
He knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
It's a good show, man.
They are saying it again this year. I really hope they can make it. But they're like, oh, Bills, Super Bowl, Bills, Super Bowl.
Who's the fucking year?
Yeah, well, they're featured. The hard knocks are going to be interesting to see how that looks. That's always, no matter who they cover, it's always great. But yeah, it's a good year for them to have the Bills. We'll see what happens.
That's a good show.
It is a great show.
Yeah, for even if you don't like football or sports, they figure out a way to make it drama, and it's very well edited.
Yeah, and the Dolphins had their first preseason game yesterday.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they tied the Bears 24-all, so they don't do overtimes in preseason.
Have you heard anything about what's going on with Christian Wilkins?
No. I mean, I've heard all the rumors and the rumblings and all that stuff. You know, everybody thinks they know what's happening, but I haven't
They
heard
don't
anything
know.
about it. Yeah.
I would like to, hear anything I believe from him. I'm not going to believe anything I read
Yeah.
with some goofball that never even played.
I think the only thing I trust these days that I read are comic books.
Yeah.
Or a menu, and even that's suspect sometimes.
Jaybird, you saw Superman?
Yes.
What did you think?
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought everything all my friends said was, is it my favorite? No. I'm old school. I love Christopher Reeves. I think Superman 2 back in the day with Zod is the best one ever. But I did like it, and I thought it was good.
Okay.
Don't overthink it, y'all. It's just a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really see what was coming out because we were not here Thursday, Friday, but a movie called Weapons debuted at #1 at the box office, $42.5 million. Freakier Friday was in second, $29 million. The Fantastic Four slipped to third. Then you had The Bad Guys 2, and then The Naked Gun was in at fifth.
I want to go see The Naked Gun so bad just because I love the chemistry with Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson.
So has that made decent money in the first couple weeks, or is
No.
it's struggling, huh?
Yeah, no, it added $8.3 million to its $33 million domestic total.
I wonder how much that cost to make.
It may not have been a lot, so it might be, worthwhile for them to have made it.
Me and Panda both want to go see it. We're going to go to the theater and see it.
I want to see it too.
Come on.
Double date?
I think we're going to bring Rocco too.
Triple date? Do I have to get a kid?
No, you don't have to get a kid. Although you could get baby Lachlan, but I don't think he'll sit.
No, he's still too young. I think for the theater, theater is more like 4 and up, you would say?
Yeah.
Even 4 is kind of tough.
Even 4. Rocco, he threw so many pissy fits when I tried to bring him to the theater at the age of 4. Like, we pissed away movie money.
I remember going to see Empire Strikes Back. No, I'm sorry. Return of the Jedi in 1983. And I must have been, what's 77, 83, 8, 9, I don't know, numbers. But I was engaged, but I think there is an age where you go, I don't think my kid can handle this shit. There's sound and popcorn and fucking nachos.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But if you bring them out early, you do force your kid to assimilate, and then you have a more well-behaved kid in public. If you keep them at home and you don't ever bring them out to the movies, then they're never going to be good at the movies. So you kind of have to go through those first few bullshit, them throwing a hissy fit experiences.
If your kid's crying during the movie,
You got to get them out.
you got to get them out.
You can't leave a crying kid in the theater.
Got an email here from Bailey, kind of call him out. Said, so for whatever reason, the whole BH donut thing perturbed me the other day. And I just had to point something out.
It made you mad?
Y'all can talk about Mako Shark taking Kevin sexually, a person wondering why their boyfriend is having a potential sex dream about Megan. Virginia joked about incest when she quit Megan. Could be his cousin. The topic regarding someone's inability to have the big O with her husband was discussed, and orgasmic was actually mentioned. Then in the whacked out news, a couple got arrested for sexual acts on a plane, followed by a story about a man wearing a masturbator shirt, getting caught fishing illegally. All this in the span of 30 minutes in one episode of the KVJ show and not the after the show. I think you guys can say butthole on the air.
I don't know. The word hole is a tricky thing when it comes to the broadcasting part.
Well, you know what's in my head was it was a funny bit, but I remember might have been at a Video Music Awards or something like that. It was a while ago. It was probably over a decade ago. What's his name? Greg Fokker, the actor
Ben
who plays
Stiller.
Ben Stiller, had done a funny bit where they were talking about jeans, and he's like, and they were talking about like in your ass, on your ass, and things like that, and they would bleep out whenever it came to hole or whatever. And it was something I can say it's on your ass, but I can't say it's in your. And then they had to bleep out ass whenever he said in. So it's just kind of a weird thing. And you're right, butthole may be okay. And I guess you're all right.
It is, but it is dicey. I remember.
It's dicey.
I remember you telling me when I first got on the radio. You go, you can talk about things on your ass, but you can't talk about things in your ass, which is, I think that's an FCC kind of a thing,
right? And you seem to have more leniency when it comes to clinical terms. Like you could say orgasm is just you're talking about a bodily function. Even though it seems like, oh my gosh, the word orgasm, that's a little intense.
If you do it right, it is.
I think,
Ask Honeyface.
I think butthole, the problem with butthole, it sounds like you're going juvenile.
Yes.
And
Right.
so if you're going clinical, then it's all stupid. I hate it. That's why it's so annoying to even have to have that thought process. That's why I love doing the after the show so much better, because you're not thinking about dumb little things about language, but that's it. So I think that's the reason why maybe butthole is, because now you sound like you're Bart Simpson and you're just doing it. They don't like it if you're doing it to be gratuitous.
Yes.
And that's what they come down on you for. So if you're being clinical, saying my penis and I ejaculated and I'm masturbating.
Go slower.
Yes. Then those are the
I think he just
clinical
ejaculated.
terms. Yeah. So that's
So why are they mad? Because we didn't say butthole?
No, they're not mad. They're just
No.
saying you guys can say butthole.
How are you saying all this
gotcha.
other stuff?
You
You're
said
talking
all
about
that other
masturbation
stuff.
and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
I
They're not
agree.
mad.
I think it's insane. And if you want to know why I did it, yeah, maybe I could with the butthole get away with it. But that's the one, oddly enough, of everything we just talked about, I think I can justify orgasmic and all those other things based on what I know with the FCC guidelines now, which I'm not saying are right. I'm not saying they make any sense.
They're just the rules we have to follow.
Yes, that if you start doing little words that make it sound like juvenile, you could have said sphincter, you could have said anus, you should have said all these things. That's more clinical. Butthole is now you're making a juvenile
Anal
jokey.
donut just doesn't ring the same.
And also, I think
You're right.
I think BH is funny as well.
Yeah.
A BH donut is
Butthole donut is hilarious.
funny.
Because there's a couple of them that do look like a butthole.
They do.
The chocolate cake one, when it's really tight, also looks like a butthole.
All these years I've been given the crawler just so much.
Crawler's great.
So much butthole privilege, I should say, when there are many a donuts that do look like a butthole.
And we want to eat them all. I think we should go, and I'm going to go to Jupiter Donuts and say, I want a dozen of just butthole donuts.
You will do it. No one believes you'll do it.
So, yeah. So, anyway, she said, P.S. It was probably the same person who reported that video of Jaybird that got you kicked off of YouTube for a week. Oh, yeah. Someone definitely reported it. It wasn't just happenstance. Yeah, probably. And that's just it. You just never know. Look, if we were all just cool and if we could just do a show for adults, that would be one thing and we would never have to. Hopefully one day we can just talk and not have to be like, oh, I can't say butthole.
Believe me, I know who reported it. And let me tell you this.
He's a butthole.
He's a butthole.
Yeah. That's it. So there you go. All right. Well, thank you very much for all of your emails. We got a lot of stuff to do. We're back at it, though. It's nice to have everybody here as we all get back to school and tackling another work week. So y'all be here tomorrow for another round of the KVJ Show. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you later. Goodbye.